Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. What can you say about Chuck Norris? Me? Nothing. Guy leaves no impression on me. He's like a Harry Steven Seagal. But thanks to ChuckNorrisFacts.com, apparently a lot of people have things to say about him. Like, Chuck Norris doesn't sleep, he waits, guns don't kill people, Chuck Norris kills people, and there is no chin under Chuck Norris's beard, there's only another fist. Yes, Chuck Norris is the first person to literally turn himself into a human catchphrase. But how can you not when you star in such self-indulgent horse vomit like Sidekicks? This is the first movie to openly acknowledge that Chuck Norris is not only better than God, but in fact is a lot better than God. He's like God, sex, and kung fu put in a blender to create undiluted manliness. But why is Chuck Norris that awesome? Well, if you don't know the answer by the time you're done watching this movie, then you don't know Chuck. Let's get kicking. So we see some sort of Asian setting where some poor damsel in distress is about to be cut to ribbons by a guy wearing a mask of Doc Brown. But who should be there but the always unstoppable Michelin Man? No, it's Chuck Norris, the undeniable king of slow-mo fighting. You wouldn't be so tough if you fought in regular motion. You know they say that Chuck Norris can eat a hammer and take a gunshot blast while standing? And who's here to help our acrobatic marshmallow man but that kid from Sequest! So they join forces to stop the easily defeatable stuntman. You know, that only works if you hit someone, guys. I especially love this one ninja who I think was late on his mark. Oh, I guess I should fall. So this epic battle of awesomeness simply has to be too good to be true. And yeah, it is. It turns out it was just a fantasy in a kid's head, and they happen quite often. The kid's name is Barry, an asthmatic who often catches himself daydreaming. Winnie! Hey, it's Winnie from the Wonder Years, the quiet, gentle bookworm who is always in an on-again, off-again relationship. Huh, I wonder who she's playing here. A quiet, gentle bookworm who's always in an on-again, off-again relationship. Awesome! So his teacher named Miss Chan shows concern about his constant daydreaming in class.
You've got to understand, there's a time and a place for dreams. It's not in the classroom.
The classroom is where dreams go to die. Get it right! His father, played by Beau Bridges, no, really no. There he is! Comes in to have a talk with Barry's teacher.
He's just never been a physical kid. And there's nothing wrong with that. Einstein, Gandhi, Gershwin, there's nothing wrong with these people. My son has asthma.
And therefore can achieve nothing. You know who else had asthma? Chuck Norris! Chuck Norris!
He says they're sidekicks, that they do things together.
Have you ever tried?
What?
Being his sidekick.
I don't think I'd have a chance against Chuck.
I mean, did you know that he's the only man who defeated a brick wall in a game of tennis? So they decide Barry needs an outlet for his daydreaming, thus they decide to give him karate lessons, taught by a quite fascinatingly unfunny Joe Piscopo.
Hey! You!
Me?
Yeah! You! We don't wear shoes on the mat here, mister!
Forgive me, I haven't decided if this role's supposed to be funny yet.
You must be pretty good to win all this stuff.
Well, I don't like to brag or anything.
Yeah, I bet you're almost as good as Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris?
Chuck Norris? You know they say that police label anyone who goes up against Chuck Norris as a suicide?
Karate is a sport of discipline and restraint and style. One that builds respect.
You believe in the Easter Bunny too, kid?
I don't know, I have to ask Chuck Norris. So he sits at home watching, what else? Chuck Norris movies, as he fantasizes again about being his psychic. This time the villain is played by Joe Piscopo, and we find out that the damsel is and always has been Miss Chan. I don't think this is so much dreaming about Chuck as it is fantasizing about his teacher. I mean, is she always the person being trussed up and rescued? Isn't that a little, creepy? And what exactly happens after you save her? Does she give you a thank you with a happy ending? Well, I think the answer is obvious. He gives her to Chuck Norris! So Piscopo lights a fuse that's going to blow her up when suddenly Norris rises out of the water and shoots the fire away. How the hell can you shoot fire away? Cut! My dream sucks. Let's try again and this time get it right! So we see his teacher talking to another teacher about why she's giving such a helping hand to young Barry.
Trouble with one of the urchins. Well, perhaps I can be of assistance.
Barry Grabowski.
Oh, but he's...
He's what?
Well, he's slow and impaired. Hopeless. The kid is hopeless.
Because that's the motto of any good school. You're hopeless. Just give up and throw your books in the garbage. So Barry sits in school trying to study when suddenly... Really? We're not even gonna wait 5 minutes for another Chuck Norris wet dream? Wow, he even talks in slow motion.
Barry! And what, may I ask, was all that about?
I was working on a Charlie horse.
Okay, this kid has a mental illness.
Yeah.
This isn't charming, this is horrifyingly scary. Check him into a mental hospital.
There's someone I want you and your dad to meet. If he likes you, maybe he'll be the one to teach you martial arts.
'Cause that's the best thing to do! Teach a schizophrenic how to fight people. That's like having a cannibal take a cooking class. So it turns out the person is Miss Chan's uncle, played by Mako. Mako? You mean that guy I made fun of in the TMNT review and get horribly ridiculed for it? Well, I'm sure there'll be nothing wrong with his character in this movie. In fact, I'm sure he'll be absolutely delightful, with no flaws at all. So we see her uncle, named Mr. Lee, as he teaches one insensitive guy a little something about manners.
Tell that chink to douse that cigar. This is a public area. He's not supposed to be smoking that in here.
Would you mind telling me which particular chink you're referring to?
The geezer in front of you, Charlie.
And can you speed it up? I got a Klansman meeting to get to.
Smoking. I'm smoking? I'm smoking!
Wow, that's impressively bad acting. I mean, you have to try in order to be that horrible. How do you think he'd react if he got shot? Gunshot? 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 I've been gunshot! R2-D2, where are you? So when he's not setting people on fire, Mr. Lee runs a Chinese restaurant where Barry and his father plan to meet with him. Well, wait, what just happened?
He really likes you. He's very impressed with your work with computers.
You skipped over the meal they had together? Why? Did Chuck Norris not like it?
That's how we teach children to use chopsticks. Did you notice my uncle stopped using his halfway through the meal?
No! Because you didn't! Show it!
Dear uncle, a poet and a charmer, teacher and philosopher.
And random dough tosser.
I'm sorry, I wasn't ready.
That is the entire point of this exercise. And what would be your fighting name? Barry the leopard. Barry the tiger.
Or how about Barry, the asthmatic ant? Yeah, that's good.
Mr. Dumpling. Mr. Dumpling never attacks by smashing the fists of his opponents with his own face.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who could probably make fun of this scene. But not me, no. I'm just so blown away by the charm of Mako. So while Mr. Lee trains / makes fun of him more, Chan and Barry's father continue to chat.
You sure Barry's gonna be okay with your uncle?
Stop throwing dough at me! Next, we throw bottles. Chan comes to check how things are going in the back as Barry's father amuses bikers. What? Where the hell did they come from?
It's a funny name.
Show stop! Transitions are your friend! So I guess bikers come in and start causing trouble while Mr. Lee figures out a foolproof plan to get rid of them.
You alright?
Wow, they actually had a guy who went, uh-huh. I didn't know they still had those in movies.
This is really good.
These gentlemen only saw what I appeared to be. Lesson number 2. Believe what is, not what you think.
For example, I'm an Academy Award-nominated actor, and I'm playing a doofus who throws dough at people. Live and learn.
So he tells Barry that he has to walk to school for a week and then run the next week after. Yeah, that's a great thing to teach an asthmatic person. On his way there, he starts up conversation with Winnie. I'm sure her character has a different name, but fuck it, you're just gonna call her Winnie anyway.
Barry, are you sure you don't want to ride?
No, that's okay. I want to get my heart rate up a little higher.
Well, I have to give this movie credit. It's gone a whole 15 minutes without a Chuck Norris appearance. That's gotta be a new record for this film. Oh, spoke too soon.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the 2 big, bad wolves.
What do you have?
Milk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mike's hard milk.
Bartender, make mine milk too.
Milk is now officially known as Chuck Norris Messiah Juice. Anything else we can do for you, sire? By the way, did you notice that the milk glasses are there when they come in and then suddenly disappear when they order? You may think this is a hole in the movie, but it's not. Chuck Norris is actually so intimidating that the milk pre-ordered itself in preparation for his arrival and then went back under because they thought they'd be presumptuous. Such is the way of Norris.
Hey, you! Give me a kiss.
Go with me.
I love how in reality the teacher is a strong, independent woman, but to the teenage brain she's reduced down to the lowest common denominator. I guess nothing's really PC in this kid's head, is it?
I can take you, little wolf.
So they stand there tickling their guns when Barry beats him to the draw and then slaps him. Then he beats him to the draw and slaps him. Then he beats him to the draw and slaps him. Is this movie stuck on repeat? Someone get me the fuck out of this! Thank you!
Wake up! How dare you fall asleep in my class? Get up, boy!
Please go away, strange wide-angle lens man.
It's been a while since your last physical evaluation, lady. Start climbing. Come on, Gabrewski. What are you, a man or Marvin Milquetoast?
What is this place? Douchebag high? What kind of teachers talk like this? You'd get your ass fired if you talked like that.
You can do it, Barry!
There will be no encouragement in this classroom. That's what private schools are for. So, just when it seems like all hope is lost and nobody can help him out, guess who happens to appear?
Hey, Barry! I'll race you to the top.
Oh, hi, Chuck. So Barry literally talks to his imaginary Chuck Norris while everybody looks at him like he's crazy. Why? Because he is crazy!
Pull! That's it. Use your legs. That's it. Good. There you go.
You know they say that Chuck Norris is so powerful that just thinking about him increases your physical strength?
Well, I'll be.
So we see Barry walk home with Winnie as he eventually confesses that he's into her, and proposes that they go out on a date.
If I like you and you like me, why don't we go out?
Go out?
Yeah.
I like you. But just not like that. I worry about you.
You pity me.
I do not. I don't!
I get it, okay?
Barry! Please!
So she's giving him mixed signals while she herself doesn't know how to feel? This is the Wonder Years! I knew then that Winnie would never accept me, so I ran home like a wailing pussy hoping that my Chuck Norris porn would be of some comfort. So as he starts to breathe faster and faster, he has, here's a shocker, another fantasy about Chuck Norris. Only this time he's getting tortured. The evidence is really piling up.
Just hang on! Filthy schwein.
Next, I bet you want to hook up my nipples to a car battery. Don't you? Don't you?
Hang on, Barry.
I can't.
Hang on.
But how can chains hold the mighty Chuck Norris? They must be made out of the scales of a silver dragon. When Barry wakes up, he finds himself in a hospital as Miss Chan and Mr. Lee come to visit. Yeah, apparently running to school wasn't such a hot idea, Big Shot.
Mr. Lee. Yes? I have something for you. I will take this off. Only for a few minutes.
I'm sure this is a perfectly normal thing for Mako to do. After all, it's not like he's rubbing him in an inappropriate way.
This will help you.
Must resist choke. Must resist choke.
Now rest.
Mako's a sweetheart. So after Mr. Lee's rubdown, Barry gets back in the game and continues to train. Oh good, nunchucks. I wonder how long it's gonna take before they do the hit the crotch get. Yeah, it didn't take them long. So Barry goes back to gym as one of the school bullies gets in a fight with him. But this time, Barry is ready. Where are the teachers during all this? Ah, hell, knowing this school, they're probably there cheering him on.
What is going on here?
I can't believe that was you. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to the zoo.
Can I come with you?
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is violence gets you chicks? You know, every guy thought that, but we didn't think it was actually true. Gee, it's been a while. Where's that disgustingly unnecessary Chuck Norris cameo? There it is! For a second there, I thought you were actually going to try and have a plot. Yeah, got the teacher in trouble again, and of course Chuck Norris is there by his side. This time they're stopping the evil Piscopo from putting razor blades in bubblegum and dynamite into piñatas. This kid needs to get laid. I take it back. This whole movie needs to get laid!
Well, our hero. Get him!
I'm acting! You know Chuck Norris once shot down a German fighter pilot just by holding up his finger and shouting bang? So he goes to rescue the teacher, which now seems to be the Winnie girl. Thank God, at least he's having implausible fantasies about girls his own age.
What's going on? Where's Noreen?
Hey, this is my dream.
No, but I can't tap that. I'll get arrested.
But in real life, the action is just beginning, as the bully, who seems to be a student of the Piscopots here, wants revenge on Barry. So he challenges him to a karate tournament to see who's the best of the best. So let's see if I got this straight. An unpopular kid gets beat up by the student of an aggressive karate teacher, so he starts training with a quirky Asian man who helps him prepare for a martial arts tournament. There's another movie like that, I think. It had something to do with karate and a kid. Karate Kid. I believe it was called Cheech and Chong Go Up in Smoke. But Barry doesn't think he's ready to compete, so his teacher gives him some words of wisdom.
Look at the tortoise, Barry. Tortoise is very clumsy and not musical at all. But it has been said, and I believe it, when a dream becomes true, when the impossible is accomplished and lies behind you, on that day, the tortoise will dance.
Oh yeah? Have you seen this? But how are Barry and Lee going to get ready for the tournament in such little time? This looks like the job for an 80s montage. So they get to the tournament where they need a group in order to enter. So Miss Chan and Mr. Lee enter as well, but they're still short one member. Who could they possibly get? Yes, Chuck! Chuck Norris enters the tournament after Miss Chan has a heartfelt talk with him that of course we never see. You know they say that every time Chuck Norris says yes, the devil pisses himself? But gee, how will Barry take the news that the hero who's been causing his mental illness is actually going to be fighting side by side along with him?
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris.
Better than I thought. But surely Chuck Norris isn't going to join the team of a bunch of people he barely even knows. Is he?
Why don't you and I go win this thing, huh?
What do you mean?
I mean, you needed a fourth team member, and now you've got one.
So they go up to enter in the tournament, but come across a little bit of trouble.
Oh, come on, Chuck Norris. The Chuck Norris.
You got a problem with that, son?
So Miss Chan performs and does well, Mr. Lee performs and does well, so it's all up to Barry and Chuck now, as they fend off against the evil Piscapansies. So, if you can imagine, when Barry goes up there, he still fantasizes. Kid, you're in a karate tournament with Chuck fucking Norris! There's no need to daydream! Are you ever fucking satisfied? So Norris faces off with Piscopo.
You know, Norris, I've always wanted to see how good you really are. You're only gonna see it once, Stone.
My ears just orgasmed, that was so cool! So they fight each other in an epic battle to the highest point. So Norris and Piscopo duke it out as he finally delivers the finishing move. In slow-mo, of course. You might be wondering, what the hell just happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Chuck Norris! But the two dojos are tied, which means a block breaking competition will settle it all. Piscopo's team doesn't break all the blocks, which means it's up to Barry to win the day. But Barry admits that he doesn't quite think he can do it.
No. Concentrate.
But it's okay. Mr. Lee gives him some courage and calls him down by setting it on fire. Yeah, that'll take the tension away. Set the fucking blocks on fire. What are you, high? So of course he breaks all the blocks and wins the day. So, where does that leave us now?
It's, kind of like a dream coming true.
Dreams do come true, Barry. If you want them bad enough.
Yeah, I guess that's why so many people can't beat cancer. They just didn't want it hard enough. So he leaves the magazine behind and walks off into the sunset. Meanwhile, in the most cliched of schlock endings, a kid picks up the magazine, is no doubt inspired by the brave god beast that he sees on the cover, and wouldn't you happen to know it, he's in a wheelchair. Yes! Chuck Norris will heal the disabled! All you have to do is believe! Believe in the power of Chuck Norris! Good God, this movie is shit! I mean, come on! There wasn't any more of Norris's cock you could suck? I never saw anything quite so self-indulgent, and I sat through Moonwalker. I mean, what was the idea behind this movie? Did Norris have a cereal he wanted to promote? Was there a commercial tie-in? Did one of the family members direct it? Was there a... Okay, now it all makes sense. It was directed by his brother. Was this like your birthday gift to him or something? Make a movie about him? Okay. None of the build-up about Chuck Norris is true. It's false. Grade A false bulldookie. It's stupid, it's nonsensical, and none of it makes sense. May God strike me down if I'm wrong. I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember?
Thanks. I really hated that guy.